Welcome back, WrestleRanters, to WrestleRant edition number 23. I am your host, Bleacher Report featured columnist, Level 3, Graham GSM Matthews, here today on December 8th, 2011, to discuss all the latest ramblings from the world of wrestling, including this past Monday Night Raw and this past week. For another electrifying edition of WrestleRant here today, I have for you news on Lillian Garcia, Alex Riley, the Bellas, Skip Sheffield, Brodus Clay, and all of the latest in the world of WWE, TNA, and more. So to kick it off, I'm not going to go segment by segment in today's WrestleRant because, as I said in the past, I am just fresh off airing the Spoilers podcast with my good friend, Bleacher Report's own Sir Ben Gartland. You can find that at blogtalkradio.com/spoilerspodcast. It's a really good show. We go through Raw, we go through a lot of different things that they go here on WrestleRant, but I will be now utilizing WrestleRant for the topics that I cannot reach out to, can expand to on spoilers due to time constraints. So here today on WrestleRant, I'll just go over the overall edition of Monday Night Raw. It was a pretty good episode, not as good as last week, but definitely miles ahead of weeks past before Survivor Series. We had a lot of overexposure with John Cena, and as well as Zack Ryder. As much as I do like Zack Ryder, I am enjoying the push that he's receiving at the moment. He shouldn't have pinned the World Heavyweight Champion Mark Henry in a fluke match. That was over in about 2 minutes. That should have never happened. But at least Ryder is getting a significant push on Monday Night Raw. And hopefully now going into TLC, he will finally capture the United States Championship from Dolph Ziggler in a match that I hope will be a United States Championship match in a ladder match, no less. Now, speaking of ladder matches, it was also announced that Kevin Nash versus Triple H, the rivalry that has been building for the past 4 months, will conclude in a ladder match at TLC with a sledgehammer hanging above the ring, and whoever grabs the sledgehammer first will be able to utilize it for the rest of the match in order to beat down their opponent. Now, I find this match, this stipulation, completely ridiculous. I do not think a ladder match is needed. Maybe a chairs match or a tables match. Most definitely not a ladder match. Kevin Nash can barely walk, much less climb a ladder. So I do not believe that is going to be intriguing at all. I'm not looking forward to that. Ryder versus Dolph Ziggler looks to be very entertaining. CM Punk defending the WWE Championship match in a filler match against Miz and Alberto Del Rio looks to be very entertaining match-wise. As far as building goes, this wasn't given the correct build, seeing that The Miz and Alberto Del Rio were booked to look like weak heels this past Monday Night on Raw in the closing minutes and the Pure 6 Brawl, as CM Punk would call it, when they were both beat down in a 3-on-1 situation, and if you include Ricardo Rodriguez in the Brawl as well. CM Punk got the best of them, but the important thing is that CM Punk is being built as a strong WWE champion, something that has been lacking since the WWE Championship has continuously changed hands since this past June. So that's the strong thing going into this match. Hopefully we see CM Punk versus Ziggler, or CM Punk versus Dolph Ziggler for the WWE. CM Punk versus Ziggler, or CM Punk versus Miz for the WWE Championship come Royal Rumble. That looks to be very entertaining. Hopefully CM Punk can hold on to the championship going into WrestleMania 28. And speaking of John Cena on the subject, he defeated Ryder in a social experiment match set up by Raw General Manager John Laurinaitis. Both received substantial cheers, I guess. John Cena wasn't really booed heavily, but then again, the crowd was dead for most of the night, so I can't really blame Cena or Ryder here. Cena, this pending storyline with him turning heel, I'm not really sure if he's going to turn heel or they just want the crowd to rally behind him going into his match against The Rock at WrestleMania 28. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully they do go all the way with this heel storyline. I'm really intrigued by it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm anticipating the John Cena heel turn that has been overdue for many, many years on end now. So I'm really looking forward to that, seeing that he's not booked for a match at WWE TLC next Sunday. Hopefully we see John Cena utilized in some manner. I do not want to see him being put back into the championship match come next Sunday. Hopefully we see him debut the match against Brodus Clay, returning Brodus Clay, I should say. And on the topic of Brodus Clay was once again advertised to return this past Monday Night on Raw, and of course, WWE Creative did not follow through on their promise from John Laurinaitis last week, and did not debut Brodus Clay. Now, I'm not significantly aggravated by this. seeing the fact that they've been hyping this for the past, I want to say 6-7 weeks now on Monday Night Raw. They didn't even bother to hype his return for next week, a vignette, anything. No acknowledgement of Brodus Clay whatsoever, even though he was trending on Twitter for most of the night. Now, I do see huge potential in Brodus Clay. He is an agile monster for a man of his size. He was present at WrestleMania 27 in the World Heavyweight Championship match in the corner of Del Rio. And he was also a force to be reckoned with on the Season 4 of WWE NXT. Seeing that he was crushing his opponents for weeks on end on WWE Superstars, I definitely see major potential in him. Maybe not a WWE champion right off the bat, but he can definitely get there in time. If he can be built upon correctly, which I don't see this is the case, because fans will just not bother to care by this point if they do not follow through on Brodus Clay's debut. So on that subject, we also had another return this past weekend at WWE Live events with Skip Sheffield returning to action. Of course, he did not return to television this past Monday Night on Raw, but hopefully we will see him return soon. I hope we do not see him be revealed as the It's Coming 2012 superstar. I'll get back to that in a minute. But Skip Sheffield, I've been a fan since his early days of NXT Season 1 last February. As a heel or face, especially as a face, as a monster heel, he can definitely be a monster heel, even though Vince McMahon sees potential in him as a number 2 babyface, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. A very untrue statement, as Skip Sheffield definitely has potential as a monster heel, as seen in his days in the Nexus. Maybe not on the mic, but definitely in the ring, as he was highly praised. Maybe not highly praised, but he was praised in his match against Alex Riley over the weekend. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him debut next week, if he does debut next week anytime soon. Hopefully come in early 2012. So speaking of Alex Riley, the latest web ramblings on all the dirt sheets is that Alex Riley is currently in the doghouse with WWE officials. Now, I cannot see why that is, seeing that Alex Riley has significantly improved over the last couple of months. He did defeat The Miz twice on 2 occasions, so I do not see why he is not on television. His reaction is growing and growing each and every week. He hasn't been on Raw in a prominent role probably since September, since a United States angle that he was in over the United States Championship with Dolph Ziggler. He did compete in that championship, but he has not been on Raw significantly since. I do like Alex Riley. He does have potential. He showed that potential back in June, but they're just not giving him the ball to run with here. I don't see why he's in the doghouse. I think the last time he was on Superstars, he lost a match to Michael McGillicuddy a number of weeks ago. But I do want to see Alex Riley more than likely move to SmackDown come the draft, where he can follow through on his full potential as a repackaged WWE superstar and get the reaction that he needs to get over with the crowd. Also on the dirt sheets last night, I was informed that the Bellas are now being considered a priority as per Mr. McMahon, due to the fact that they are twins. Now, I think that is a really, really stupid statement. The Bellas, whether they win or not, cannot wrestle. Now, they should not be on Raw in a prominent role each and every week. As I just said, they cannot wrestle. What do they have to offer for the WWE Divas division? They've run their course in the Divas Championship angle. They have absolutely no business on television, other than the fact that they can connect through Twitter and such. That they do have, I don't see any potential in them. They've definitely run their course as heels and babyfaces. I just do not want to see them on television any longer. Now, speaking of the It's Coming 2012, another vignette aired on Monday Night Raw, where it said, look within, I believe it said. Correct me if I'm wrong, if that was untrue. But this aired during the Divas of Doom vignette, and I am really looking forward to this. I think it was a very smart move in debuting these new vignettes, these new mysterious vignettes, similar to 2/21/2011, on Monday Night Raw for the younger viewers that do not turn into the YouTube videos that they've been airing over the last 2 weeks. Now, I do have a strong feeling that it is Chris Jericho, especially with all the dirt sheet ramblings in recent weeks, as well as the fact that all the verbiage used in these promos definitely point to Jericho. I did read that they are looking to bring back Jericho to boost ratings, which is something that is desperately needed by this point, seeing that last week, or this past week's Monday Night Raw rating was a 2.9 on the Nisol Media Research scale. Now, that is not impressive whatsoever. That is definitely below average. And they really, really, really need to get that up there going into WrestleMania. I mean, the ratings were pretty high going into WrestleMania 27, so hopefully they can repeat that success once again this year, but they really need to bring back Jericho. I'm not sure if that's going to boost ratings, but that remains to be seen. So, in a nutshell, that's pretty much all the news I have for you guys today. Besides the fact that tomorrow afternoon, this upcoming Friday, I will be meeting Mick Foley, hopefully, here in Connecticut. I'm really looking forward to that, as well as Robbie E., but I met Robbie E. before since he is a Connecticut native. So I'm really looking forward to meeting Mick Foley and having him sign my Rise and Fall of the ECW book that I purchased over a year ago. So that looks really, really exciting. So, as I said, now for the time for the shameless plugs. You can follow me on Twitter at save_us_GSM at twitter.com. You can catch up on all the WWE, TNA, rumors, recaps, reviews, and more at nextwrestling.weebly.com. You can find me on Bleacher Report, in the links below, as well as on Bleacher Report at Graham GSM Matthews, where I am a now Bleacher Report featured columnist level 2, now reaching over 700,000 article reads. I cannot stress it enough. Thank you guys so much for tuning in my articles. Every time I post them, I really support your encouragement for me. I really do appreciate it. So thanks once again. And as I said before, you can visit our new spoilers broadcast for our latest episode that just debuted today at blogtalkradio.com/spoilers podcast broadcast. I'm not entirely sure. You just check down in the links just to ensure that. And pretty sure that just about does it. You can also catch me on OVO from time to time at BJLS305. So I should be back probably next week. I'm hopefully looking to debut or having the return of WrestleRant every Thursday and or Friday. I'm not entirely sure at this point, but hopefully we can get WrestleRant back on a weekly basis going into 2012. And I hope you guys enjoy the changes I've been making to the videos as of late, as I've been making a lot of production changes, especially with the call to personality at the beginning and ending of the video, as well as my links and such. So hopefully you guys enjoy your week and have a happy holidays in coming weeks. That looks to be really, really exciting. I am a Christmas kind of guy. I'm really looking forward to Christmas in a couple weeks. Only 17 days, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. But until then, guys, yes, I'm out.